Can you see me? 1 minute. I don't think so. 1 minute. Yeah. Can you see me now?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's okay.
Perfect. All right. Hi. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. And how have you been?
I have also been good. Thank you so much for asking. So, as you might know, we are kind of going through a technical revolution over here.
Yeah,
The platform is kind of changing. What has happened because of that is that I can't specifically look at the topic that we have for the day. Can you do that on your dashboard? Because there are
no,
still some things going on. Okay.
no, I can't say as well.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They're actually working on some of these technical glitches that are happening. So I also asked them about the topic, but I think the technical team is a little busy. So in case if they inform me about what the topic is, I can go on with that. But before that, we can just have our normal conversation and activities, and then we can go ahead and talk about some
Definitely.
of this.
Yeah,
Okay? Yeah, yeah.
we hardly need topics
Yeah.
because we already have so many topics in our mind
Yeah.
that we can
Hmm.
discuss on any of them.
Yes, absolutely. So, why don't you give me a topic today? Why don't you tell me something that you would like to discuss?
Well, we can pick anything from education. Let's have a
Education.
debate on
Hmm.
uniform.
Uniform. Okay, that's very good. So, by
Yeah.
debate, you mean do you want to debate for and against both the sides? I mean, do you want to say something in favor and also against? What do you want to do?
Uh, we both can have, and
Or you
that
can do
would be
one side and
yeah,
I can do one side.
yeah.
Right. Okay, that would be challenging for me as well. Which side would you want to do?
Okay, I would pick that uniform
Hmm.
should not be mandatory.
Right. I would have also liked to pick that side, but I understand. Are we talking about schools?
Yeah, of course.
Hmm. Okay, okay. So, okay, we can start with this debate, but before we start, I should ask you about how your day is going first.
It's going pretty normal,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it's good. It's normal.
It's normal. What does a normal day look like for you?
Yeah, normal day is something like just after waking up, I read newspaper.
Good.
It takes me around 1 hour or
Okay.
sometimes 40 minutes, depending upon the articles that I find, whether it
Hmm.
is relevant or not. So after that, I take time to freshen up. I mean to do my daily routine work, and
Okay.
then some listening practice, some
Hmm.
pronunciation practice, and
Hmm.
then practicing here on the app.
Hmm.
So I have been doing all this.
Okay, that's great. That's great to hear. All right, good job. So, yes, on that note, we are going to go and talk a little bit about the debate, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Okay, before we start, do you have any other question, concern?
No. Let's start the topic.
Okay, so since you are going to speak in favor of not having the uniform, you can probably start first and then I can join
Okay.
in.
So uniform in schools
Hmm.
has been a topic to be discussed, and has been a confusing topic at the same time as well, because there are certain conflicts among the people, especially one that comes to my mind is the recent one where a scarf was not being allowed.
Hmm.
So I think that there should be no uniform,
Hmm.
because if we make uniform mandatory, it is not good for the children, especially the young ones, because they do not like to wear the same kind of dress. First thing is that. And the second thing is that because of the uniform, like I picked up the scarf part, if somebody is not getting the opportunity to enter the school and enjoy the study, then it is not good.
Hmm.
We should take care of all these things, and there is no harm in allowing people to wear different kind of things that they generally wear at their home or in general. So if we allow that, people or children would feel free, easy, and comfortable. They would be more focused on their studies itself. That's what I feel.
Okay, good attempt. Which also kind of makes it more challenging for me. I was thinking what I want to say, but I think my view would be that when you come from different social backgrounds, economic backgrounds, if you go into the school wearing dresses that you can afford, dresses that you have access to, it can often lead to you getting bullied by your peers. I'm not saying that that is correct. That is something that should be rectified. People should be taught in schools not to bully others, but that still does not take away from the fact that people, when they come from, students, specifically young people, when they come from different economic and social backgrounds, they often feel conscious of the ways they dress and the things that they wear or how they present themselves. A school uniform kind of solves that problem or precludes that problem because of the fact that you all are wearing the same thing necessarily. Apart from that, I think a school uniform also kind of gives a source of community pride, sense of belonging that you have to this wider community of other students who belong to the same school or the same alma mater that you are. And I think there have been some studies about how the school uniforms often kind of make it easier for people to fit in. Obviously, there can be cases against that as well. But I think to a certain extent, uniforms can make life easier, um, and they can be more freeing in terms of what you should wear and what you should not. So that would probably be the point that I would like to make. And I think, it's also important to kind of, and this is something that I believe in, have a point of appropriateness when it comes to dressing up in a certain way for school. I believe that you cannot really wear a lot of things that you can wear elsewhere to a school, for the reason that it is a specific place of education. So I think that can also be probably handled a little graciously through the conduct of a uniform or the rule of a uniform, that that goes around the school and among everyone in similar capacities, basically. So that would be my point of view, I guess.
Okay,
Right.
I agree with your point, but
Hmm.
one thing that I would like to ask here is, or I would like to point out here is, that whenever we talk about the differences in uh, people according to the economical background they are in,
Hmm.
so even if they come in the same uniform, if there is differences that can be seen in different ways. For example, along with the uniform they have to bring bags or so many different things. So even after being in uniform, that differences can be seen. And the point that you took, that if they are not in uniform they can be bullied,
Hmm.
they can be bullied anyway.
Hmm.
So here what my point is, that certainly a uniform can bring that discipline amongst students, but why not we try to bring that discipline
Hmm.
among students without uniform? Because that
Absolutely.
would be a more appropriate thing to do with these
Hmm.
kids,
Yeah.
because they will get to learn something new at early age.
Right.
So I believe in that viewpoint, and that is why I think that uniform is not necessary.
Hmm. Hmm. Absolutely. I think I agree with you. And the problem with this part of the debate is I'm actually someone who believes in the other side. So I'll probably have difficulty finding out points for this side. But for example, if I have to take your side as well, the idea of religious diversity is often not considered when it comes to the representation of uniform uniforms or this unified representation of what people should wear and what they should not. So many times schools do not wear, say, certain religious things to be incorporated, though you might be wearing that for the longest time. So that can often lead to a sense of misidentity for for the child. So that is something we definitely have to take in mind. But I think in a world of fast fashion and social media, selfies and whatnot in today's times, so school uniform serves a practical purpose as well. It's also this idea of not being always, it's not only about getting bullied, it's also about putting up with this expectation that we should wear this because they are wearing that, right? So even if we can't afford this, we always are under the pressure to kind of build up ourselves or a narrative of ourselves according to the expectation we think we have to fulfill in terms of the peers we hang out with. So, and that is something that might be a little difficult for children to understand from a very little age, that okay, we should just wear what we can afford, and what we are is how we should represent ourselves or present ourselves. That is not something that they always understand as little or young kids. So that is something that can, I feel, be shielded a little through having a uniform code for everyone. But other than that, I can understand where you are coming from, and I think I agree more with your side than mine. So,
Okay.
yes, I think we reached a conclusion over there. That was a good debate. That was a good debate. What would your point have been if you were on my side in favor of the uniform?
Well, I have already discussed that
Hmm.
yesterday, so I
Oh.
came up with this straightforward because
Oh, so
it is
you had
tough
another
for me.
session.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
that's
it is
great.
tough for me to
Hmm.
come up with a topic this way. So I thought, why not change the side and continue discussion on this?
Hmm.
So on that front, I would only say that by uniform, we
Hmm.
inculcate that discipline among the students. So it's always good to have, because we cannot deny the
Hmm.
fact
Hmm.
or the kind of society that we are in.
Yeah.
So if we compare, for example, we compare lots of things from Western society,
Hmm.
and the thing that I came up with the uniform thing,
Hmm.
that if we look at the Western schools, they do not have any uniform code.
Hmm.
Maybe this idea had come from their side, but if we look at the cultural shift, that is way way ahead. I mean, different from what
Hmm.
we have in our country. So we should not compare, first thing. And if we look or consider all the things, all the facts about society, and the way the society works, the kind of cultural shift we have, so in that way, I think uniform is the best way for kids to uh, maintain the discipline code among them, and that's why I think that uniform is must for
Right.
kids.
Right. Okay. Those are good points. All good points. Okay. So now that was the first activity that we had. We can probably, I would challenge you to do another thing. Now, have you heard of the debate format called Switch?
uh, Switch is
Yeah.
maybe what we did right now.
Yeah, but here I was kind of debating on the other side, and you were debating on the other side, right?
Right.
So in Switch, basically what happens is you have to debate on both. I mean, for
Okay,
against
on both
both
the
the
side.
sides. But when?
Right.
So you would start with, say, the for side. You're going, and at one point of time, I say switch, and it can be in the middle of a sentence, in the middle of an idea, whenever. But till I say switch, you have to go on for that side. But whenever I say switch, you have to go to the other side and start speaking on the other side. And till that, then you can just conclude and probably pull a middle ground or whatever it is. But then you have to continue on the other side.
Okay.
Okay. So that is difficult because you have to kind of find your own loopholes and contradict yourself. But
Right.
so we can do that, right? So
Yeah, sure.
yeah, you have to do it. You have to debate with yourself. But I'm also thinking um, about a topic that would be good for switch. Do you have any topic in mind, maybe? I'm also thinking mm, that has
Mm,
a potential good and a bad side. Maybe not good, bad, but for and against side.
we can pick dowry system,
Okay, dowry system. Okay, okay, maybe. Absolutely. You can go ahead.
but
You have to.
if you can come up with something else, that would be nice, because I think dowry is something that is
Yeah,
my
it's
preferred
difficult.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
difficult
even
to
if it
talk
is
about.
difficult, but for
Yeah.
me it is a bit easy because I have thought about such things so
Oh,
many times. So
okay.
maybe I will come up with those things. So I just
Okay,
wanted to challenge myself.
yeah, what we can do is you can start with this topic now. Let me see what your ideas are, and in the next round, I can give you a topic from. I also have a topic in mind now. I'm not saying that right now, but I'll give you that topic in the next
Okay,
round.
so
Okay?
let's start.
Yes.
So in terms of dowry system, what I feel, if I talk about for it, I don't find any problem in dowry system, because it is a system where the boys side are gifted something from the girls side. So if it is being given out of respect, or on their own, then there is no harm in it. So I believe that there should be no problem, because it is an old age tradition. People live this way and they have been following this. So if the both parties are agreeing to this, then there should be no problem at all.
Hmm. Hmm. Right. Okay. Okay. You have to continue. I haven't said switch yet.
Okay. Yeah. So whenever people talk about that dowry system is not good, uh, I I try to think or ponder over that why isn't it good? Because the two families are agreeing to something, and they are capable of doing these things, so they have done this way, so this is good.
Switch.
Yeah, but at the same time, I would like to say that it is not about the two families only, because if you do something, and if you see it in larger picture, then it is bad, because
Hmm.
those who can afford, it is
Hmm.
good for them. but
Hmm.
but what about those who cannot afford? Because the
Hmm.
problem starts there. Dowry is something where the people, even if the girl side is not able to afford, yet they have to pay, no matter from where they arrange, and that becomes problematic. That is where the problem starts. First, that you are unable to pay, and on that front, you have to suffer a lot. The girl has to suffer a lot after reaching their uh, in-laws house, or after starting living with their in-laws. So to curb that, the better thing would be that we should eliminate this system itself, because if we eliminate it, for even for those who can afford, then only there would be a change in the society.
Hmm.
So I feel that we should think about this, because on in name of dowry, whatever adversities a girl has to face is unbearable
Hmm.
and is unhuman. So we should definitely come up with something where we avoid, or we kind of eliminate this system
Right.
itself.
Okay, good, very good, good. Now comes. I don't know if it would be more challenging for you, but this is a very interesting topic. The topic is that we should stop idealizing sports stars as celebrities. So you have to speak in favor. So you can say, we should idealize them as celebrities, and then you have to say why we should not idealize them as celebrities. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So you can start with the favor, I mean, in favor option maybe, and I can say switch sometime.
Okay.
Hmm.
So to start with, or to begin with, I would like to say that unless we idolize someone, we would not be able to encourage to work for the same. For example, a generation has been encouraged by players like Sachin Tendulkar, or Saurav Ganguly, and many others, and because they were encouraged, or they idolized these great players, they become great themselves. And
Hmm.
the examples are many,
Hmm.
whether Dhoni or Virat or Rohit, whichever name you pick, all the stars of today's era, they had idolized the earlier stars, and that's why they have become so great. So I
Right.
think if we are following uh, our sports stars, we should definitely idolize them, and then only we would be able to be focused. We would be able to learn from them that how much effort do we need to put in to reach somewhere, or maybe even half of what they have already achieved.
Hmm.
And then only we can achieve almost equal to them or better than them. Who knows?
Hmm.
So, in that terms,
Switch.
I definitely feel that we should idolize. And I would like to say that idolizing someone can be beneficial, but we should be careful that whenever we idolize someone, we should not idolize the person to an extent where we start uh, harming ourselves. For example, if I idolize Kumar Sanu, and I am so enthralled by him that I'm not able to focus on any other work of mine. So
Hmm.
one side, I know that I do not have capability to become a singer, yet I idolize a singer, and in terms of idolizing,
Hmm.
I'm wasting my time, I'm wasting my efforts and my life at the same time. So
Right.
no matter how much I idolize somebody as my favorite celebrity, I would not be able to put in that effort, and eventually I will spoil my life. I
Hmm.
will spoil all the opportunities that I had in my life.
Hmm.
So if we are in certain conditions, we should definitely not idolize any celebrity for that matter.
Right, good, very good, good job. Okay, that was pretty nice. But apart from this entire debate setup, which side would you choose for this?
Mm, we should idolize. Why not?
You okay. And is
Yeah.
there any celebrity, cricketer or football player or anything that you idealize?
Uh, I brought all the names that I idolize, like Sachin, Ganguly, Dravid, Kumar
Hmm.
Sanu,
Hmm.
Udit Narayan.
Right. Okay. None of the players from the current generation.
Not kind of idolize. Of course, they are my favorite.
Hmm.
But when it comes to idolizing all the previous era stars,
Hmm. Right. Okay. Okay. That's great. So those are the things we did. Three debates today, which is pretty good, I think. And I really liked the topics that we included as well. What about you? What did you think?
I also enjoyed it. Of
Hmm.
course, it
Right.
was a lovely
Okay.
session. Yeah,
Thank you so much. I really don't have any suggestion to give per se because your English is pretty impeccable as it is. It's good that you try to, brush it up and try to practice as much as possible, which is always a good thing. Keep on doing that, and hopefully we'll meet again soon.
definitely.
Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye. Have a good day.